Om Sapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Bowing down to the feet of Sri Ramakrishna, Mother Sharda Devi and Swami Vivekananda, I offer my heartfelt namaskar to all of you. There was one saint in Maharashtra, central part of India, who was living on the bank of Godavari. His name was Ekanath, Santa Ekanath, Saint Ekanath. Now, a person came to him and asked him, "Sir, how is it possible that you don't think of committing sin or wrong deeds, whereas our mind is always engrossed in doing the wrong things and it will be forced to commit bad deeds, sinful deeds? Why is it? Why do we get that thought? How can we overcome that? Why is it that you people, you saints, don't have that urge to commit? What is the secret?" Instead of answering him directly, suddenly he started looking at his face in a peculiar way. Then he told, "Forget about all those things. Now, how to commit sins or not to commit sins. I see in your face, I can read your face, that in 6 more days you are going to die. I can clearly see on your face it is written that your death is imminent. Within 6 days you are going to die." Then that person was shocked. He was flabbergasted. Then he didn't have any words. Then he told, "What are you telling, sir?" "Yes, true. Within 6 days you are going to die. Go, do all the preparations for your death. Whatever you have to do, take care of your family. Forget about all, not to commit sin, that and this. Go, finish of all the duties, commit all the things, any other things if you have to take care, and then let us see." Then he ran to the house. He was all doing, and maybe in the modern days, if you think the writing of the will or other things, insurance, that and this, but in those days, maybe there were no writing of the will or the lawyers or the insurance, whatever he wanted to, sharing the property and talking to the wife and calling all the relatives and talking to them, everything he finished quickly. So on the 6th day, on the day when the saint had predicted that he is going to die, he finished everything and he came back to the saint and told, "Sir, I have finished all the duties. I have come. I am ready to die now. When is the time of my death? I want to think of God and pass away." Then the saint told him, "No, you are not going to die. You will live. But now tell me, all these 6 days, how many times did you think of committing sin? Any second did you get a thought that you want to commit sin or do the wrong?" "Sir, I was always thinking of my death. I thought now in 6 more days I'm going to die. I have to finish all my duties." Same way, we saints keep our death in front of us always. We know that this world is temporary and we have to go. We have to die. That's why we meditate on death. We have no fear of death. We meditate on death. That's why there is no question of committing sins. There is no question of our mind forcing us, because we are keeping death. We are meditating on death. So if we know that we have death, if we think that any moment we are going to die, we don't have any other thing to do now. We have to finish off all our duties. We will be living in the present. Think of God, do all our duties quickly and ready to go. You will get yourself ready. Otherwise, you can see, watch your own life. How causally you live and everything postponed, procrastinating, and all the other things. Oh, let us see, of going to the ashram tomorrow. Let me meditate afterwards. Let me sleep a little. no meditation, everything postponing. But when it comes to wrongful deed, committing the sins, immediately, quickly we are going to do all those things. Why? We are not keeping death in front of us. So now, let us try to meditate on death, not the death of your death, but death of some great people. See, it is just like there is a saying in India, in one of the vernaculars, Sharanarannu Maranadalli Kanu. If you want to see the life of a great personality, a saint, look at his death, how he dies. How does he die at that? And what are his reactions at the time of death? Then you will come to know that he's a great person. Now, let us watch one great saint who was considered to be the avatar of Ishvara. So how did he pass away? What was his thought? What was his preparation for the death? That may bring us some sort of solace whereby we can conquer death. Such people come to this world for some other purpose. Let us see. Now, Ramakrishna used to tell, it is the nature of the child to soil itself with dirt and mud. But the mother does not allow it to remain dirty always. She washes it from time to time. Similarly, it is the nature of man to commit sin. But if man is sure to commit sin, see the words of Ramakrishna, if man is sure to commit sin, doubly sure is it that the Lord devises methods for his redemption too. Do whatever you want. See, now you are bringing in so many security systems. You are bringing in so many new measures to protect your house. But even before that, the thieves, the burglars will have thought something better to counteract all your systems. Likewise, you devise whatever ways of committing sins. Ramakrishna is telling, similarly, it is the nature of the man to commit sin, but if man is sure to commit sin, doubly sure, doubly or triply or thousandfold sure, be sure, is it that the Lord devises method for the redemption of your sins. That's why he comes down again and again. He came down as Swami Vivekananda, the avatar of Shiva. And do you know that? The wonderful statement of Swami Vivekananda, even until one dog in this country, that is, he was telling in India, comes to know it is not one with God, I will take birth again and again and again to strive for its liberation. That was Vivekananda's heart, expansion of heart, feeling for the lowly, feeling for the sinful people to bring them out of this life of sin. Even a dog, he's telling, then what about human beings? How much love did he have for human beings? So let us see the Mahasamadhi. How was the preparation of death to Swami Vivekananda? When did he start preparing? Long before. But let us go back. Where was that? He had gone to Amarnath Yatra. You all know that Amarnath Yatra, now it is started and people are going in thousands and millions to that place to see the ice lingam, Barafnath, where Lord Shiva had given the knowledge of how to overcome death, Amaratva, immortality, to Mother Parvati. So I too had gone some 5 or 6 years back from South Africa itself. I had the vision in the sense, the linga, I saw the Shiva lingam, and also I could see the 2 pigeons flying, or the pigeons flying there. That is set apart. Let us go to Swami Vivekananda. There he tells, now there is all wonderful facility to go there. Every other step you can find security people. There will be tea stall. There will be different places where langar, where Hindus will be waiting to serve the devotees, give them hot tea, food, breakfast, everything. Even there will be people ready to massage the feet of the pilgrims so that they are so tired, there will be medical facility, everything. But then nothing was there. Vivekananda, just with one lion cloth. It will be minus 30, minus 20, everywhere ice. The depletion of oxygen will be very less oxygen because of the altitude. Vivekananda went alone, just with one lion cloth, bare body, in that 36 or 40 kilometers. Then that to hilly area, and had the vision of the Lord. There he saw Sakshat Lord Shiva manifested there. Then Shiva asked him, what boon do you want? He told he wanted Ichha Maranatva. He should choose death whenever he wants. He would choose death. Shiva granted him. Then after he came back, he went to, even before that or after that, I'm not sure about the timings. Let us not worry about that. Let us go to the event. He went to another place in Kashmir, that is in Srinagar, a little away. I had been to that place too. There is a temple called Kheer Bhavani. That is called Kheer Bhavani. Kheer means, paisam. You make that paisam out of milk. It's called kheer. It comes from the word kshira. Kshira means milk. You make that paisam out of milk. So Kheer Bhavani has become Kheer Bhavani. So there, the mother is manifested in the form of water, a small pond. There you can see, if you go even now there, you can see all that thing. A little away, there was a very big temple of the Divine Mother. A very big temple was there. The Muslim invaders, while they were coming there, they had destroyed it. It was all in dilapidated condition. So while seeing that ruins, Swami Vivekananda got upset. He told, if I would have been there at that time when those invaders came and destroyed this temple, I would have not allowed that to happen. He proclaimed that boldly. Then suddenly he heard the voice, a voice without form, the Divine Mother, Kali. The Divine Mother Kali, or the Divine Mother who was always sitting in the heart, making use of the body of Swami Vivekananda as an instrument. She was residing there. Until then, she was residing in the body of Ramakrishna. Then she got transferred to that body. I have told that incident earlier before. Now she said, oh Naren or Vivekananda, are you protecting me or am I protecting you? See the statement. Vivekananda told, if I would have been there during that time of invasion, I would have not allowed this to happen. Then the Divine Mother told, Naren, are you protecting me or am I protecting you? Think of this. Then Divine Mother told, if I wish, I can raise 7-storied golden temple here, made out of gold. But that is not my wish. Everything in this universe happens according to my will. And that was the last time when Vivekananda gave up all the idea of doing the work, that and this. Finished. Gone. Everything is happening according to the will of the Divine Mother. Everything. Then he came back to Belur Math. You can see his preparation for his Mahasamadhi. Finish off all the things before that, whatever work had to be done. Because the mother told, am I protecting you? Everything, whatever you see, what is happening now, don't be worried. The Divine Mother is looking after everything. Now let us not deviate ourselves from there. Let us go to see that wonderful Mahasamadhi of Narendra. Now, you have all gone to Belur Math. In Belur Math, one day Swami Vivekananda came downstairs from his room, Swami Vivekananda's room. If you go there, you can see that. He used to live in that room. He came downstairs and sat on the canvas cot under the mango tree in the courtyard. Even now, that mango tree is still existing there. Facing west, as he often did, the monks around him were busy with their activities. One was sweeping the courtyard with a broom. Swami Premananda was climbing the steps to the shrine. After his bath, suddenly Vivekananda's eyes became radiant, surcharged with spiritual fervor. He said to a disciple, where will you go to seek Brahman? Where will you go to seek God? He is immanent in all living beings. Living beings is all of you. We forget, we forcefully feed Ramakrishna in the image, in the photos, God in the images in the temple, while we forget the old father and mother, your brother, sister, your children, your neighbors, all the God who is manifested in the form of living beings walking around you. We ill-treat them. We behave with them as we like. But here Vivekananda is telling, where are you going to find Brahman or God? He is immanent, he is present in all the living beings. Here is the visible Brahman in the living beings. Shame on those who, neglecting this visible Brahman in the form of living beings, shame on you. Here is the visible Brahman before you, tangible, neglecting the visible Brahman, set their minds on other things. Here is the visible Brahman in the form of all living beings, the human beings before you, tangible as a fruit in one's own hand. Can't you see it? Here is Brahman, here is God. These words of Swami Vivekananda filled with power. The people around him, it shook them like an electric shock. For about 15 minutes, no one could move or function. Swami Premananda, the direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, went into ecstasy hearing that powerful words of Vivekananda made Premananda to go to ecstasy, samadhi. Others experienced an indescribable peace and joy. At last, Vivekananda said to Premananda, now you can go to worship. Do the real worship. The Lord is in every living being. See, it should change our perspective. Not only we should see in the images, that should be a preparation, but now with these words, some of the last teachings of Vivekananda, we have to transform the way we like. We neglect, we talk rudely, we behave with other people with such contempt, ill-treat them, criticize them, speak about them from the back, calumny and all the other things, and you think you are worshipping God. Change your attitude. Swami Vivekananda has shown during these last days, he is showing all these things. Until we don't change, we suffer and suffer and suffer. Now go to worship. And all were released. The disciples were amazed to witness the spiritual power of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda later on explained this phenomenon on another occasion. He who has realized God, realized Atman, becomes a house of great power. From him as a center and within a certain radius emanates a spiritual force. And all people or anybody coming in that ambit, all those who come within this circle becomes animated with these ideas and are overwhelmed by them. See? Just those words of Swami Vivekananda, which were uttered before 1902, if that could bring so much of power here in 2024, then think of the power which might have manifested in Swami Vivekananda around him when he uttered those words. So he's telling those who come within this circle become animated with his ideas and are overwhelmed by them. Thus, without much religious striving, those people can inherit the result of his wonderful spirituality. Now, why did he take up this topic of Swami Vivekananda's Mahasamadhi or preparation for Mahasamadhi of the Lord days? Because 2 days back, what is the date today? 6th, 4th of July. A great event happened in America. What was that? Freedom of USA, America. He decided, Swami Vivekananda, see, there is some coincidence. He decided the same day to get freedom from his body. 1902, July 4th, he gave up his body at will because Lord Shiva had granted him that boon. He decided, he saw the almanac, decided the date and time, and gave up his body in meditation. That's why I took up this just 2 days back it was. Now, before that event, on 15th May 1902, Swami Vivekananda wrote to Miss MacLeod, I'm sometimes bit better, but of course far from what I expected. A great idea of quiet has come upon me. I'm going to retire for good. No more work for me. His brother disciples were worried by his contemplative mood. They remember that masters forecast that Narayan would merge forever into Samadhi in God as soon as his mission was over, and that he would refuse to live in his physical body once he realized who he was. A brother monk one day quite casually asked Swami Vivekananda, Narayan, do you know yet who you are? The unexpected reply, yes, I know now. And everyone present into silence. Nobody dared to probe further. Another day, he said to Swami Sharadananda, another direct disciple, Sharat Chandra Chakravarti, to Sharadananda, I don't see that girl. I don't see that girl. Who is that girl? Mother Kali. He's telling, I don't see that girl, Mother Kali, anymore. She has withdrawn her hand from me. A few days before his passing away, one of his boyhood friends came to Vivekananda and asked for some financial help. Swami Vivekananda asked Bodhananda to give his friend 2 rupees from his wallet. 2 rupees was a very big amount at that time. Bodhananda checked the wallet and said that if the friend was given 2 rupees, there would not be much left in his wallet. Immediately, Swamiji said, do you think I care for that money? Give him 2 rupees plus a little more. Then he continued, in a room, see, this is a message for all of us. In a room, if one window is open and the corresponding window is closed, there is no ventilation. So, let it go by one window and it will come by the other. The more you give, the more you get. A week before the end, Vivekananda asked Shuddhananda to bring him the Bengali almanac. Here in South Africa, we tell opening the book, that is the almanac, Panchanga. Swamiji turned several pages and then kept it in his room. He was seen several times on subsequent days studying the almanac intently, as if looking for something auspicious. It did not strike anyone what his intention might be. Only after his death did they realize that he was selecting an auspicious day for his departure, as Sri Ramakrishna had done 3 days before his passing away. While walking on the spacious lawn of the monastery with Swami Premananda, Swamiji said to him, pointing to a particular spot on the bank of the Ganga, what did he tell? See, how is he preparing for the death? How fearless he is. When I give up the body, cremate it here. When I give up the body, cremate it here. I'll just tell a humorous incident. In Bangalore, 13 kilometers or 15 kilometers away from Baswanagudi, we have Alsur Center. There, many senior sadhus who have retired will stay there doing tapasya. So most of them, they will be going one by one. Nearby, there is a cremation ground, 4-5 kilometers from there. So now, one of the Swamiji, there, I have seen him. His name was Swami Vibhudanandaji Maharaj. He is no more there. He went to that cremation ground. He met that, the person who burns and do undertake there, who burns the body, went to him and gave him some money. This body will come here after some days. Keep this money. Don't put kerosene and other things to burn. Put some ghee or something to burn. This body will come. He gave some money to him. Don't put kerosene. Don't do it fully, burn it properly. And he went away. Just 1 month after that, he gave up his body. It was fun to us, but see that how preparation for the death here. Swami Vivekananda is telling, cremate here on the bank of Ganga. Now, on that very spot lies the temple of Swami Vivekananda, where his body was cremated. So, 3 days before his passing away, while walking on the spacious lawn of the monastery with Premananda, Swamiji said to him, pointing to a particular spot on the bank of Ganga, when I give up the body, cremate it here. Today, on that very spot stands the temple in honor of Swami Vivekananda. Sister Nivedita left a vivid account that includes many significant facts in connection with Vivekananda's passing away and his foreknowledge of it. When June closed, July, he passed away. When June closed, he knew well enough that the end was near. I'm making ready for the death, he said to one who was with him on the Wednesday before he died. A great tapasya, austerity and meditation has come upon me. I'm making ready for death. Once in Kashmir, after an attack of illness, I had seen, that is Nivedita is telling, I had seen him lift a couple of pebbles saying, that is Kashmir, he had gone to Kashmir for the Amarnath Yatra. So at that time, he had an attack of illness. Then after that, I had seen him lift a couple of pebbles saying, whenever death approaches me, all my weakness vanishes. Are? If death approaches to us, we become weak and afraid. But Vivekananda is telling, whenever death approaches me, all weakness vanishes from me. See the difference? I have neither fear, nor doubt, nor thought of the external. I simply busy myself making ready to die. I am as hard as that, and the stones stuck one another in his hand. I'm hard as this stone. I'm not afraid of the death. For why? For I have touched the feet of God. After I have realized, God, what is the fear of death to me? Did we not remember, moreover, the story of the great Nirvikalpa Samadhi of his youth? Swami Vivekananda had Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the highest in yoga. After that, Master called him. It was given by Sri Ramakrishna to him. When it was over, Master had said, this is your mango. I've given you the fruit now. This is your mango, the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Look, I now lock it in my box. You shall taste it once more when your work is finished. You have to do my work. You have come here to do my work. After you finish my work, then I will unlock this box and give back to you that God realization or the Samadhi. It was on the last Sunday before the end that he said to one of his disciples, you know, the work is always my weak point. When I think that might have come to an end, I am now all undone. On Wednesday, 2nd July of the same week, the day before Ekadashi, it was the Ekadashi, the 11th day of the moon, which Orthodox Hindus observe by fasting and himself keeping the fast. That day, he did Nirjala Upvasa just 2 days before his death. Nirjala Upvasa. He didn't even take a drop of water on that day. He observed the fasting and himself keeping the fast in all strictness. He insisted on serving the morning, next day, the morning meal to the same disciple. Now, on that very day, he started serving Nivedita, his disciple. Each dish as it was offered, he started serving her with his own hand. Now, after serving Nivedita all that food, though he was fasting, then he gave water to wash her hands himself and wiped with the towel her hands. Then Nivedita was surprised. She told, "What is this, Swamiji? We are your disciples. We should do it to you. Why are you doing this to us, to me, your disciple?" Swamiji told, "Didn't Jesus Christ do the same to his disciple?" "Swamiji, but that was the stopped. That was the last time." Yes, that's the same. So now it is I who should do all these things for you, Swamiji, not you for me, was the protest naturally offered by Nivedita, but his answer was startling. In its solemnity, Jesus washed the feet of his disciples. Something checked the answer, but that was the last time, as it rose to the lips and the words remained unuttered. On his last day, Friday, 4th July 1902, Vivekananda got up very early in the morning, as usual, and went to the shrine for meditation. He was not sick at all. During breakfast, he was in a jovial mood, teasing Premananda and playing pranks and recalling many events of olden times. He had fruit, milk, and tea. Then a fresh food, other things, vegetable, was given to him. Now, after that, at 8 a.m., he again entered the shrine for meditation. When at 9:30 a.m., Premananda entered the shrine to perform the daily worship, Swamiji asked him to carry his asana carpet to the master's bedroom, Shayanagraha, where they put Sri Ramakrishna to sleep every night, which was adjacent to the shrine, and shut all doors and windows. Now Swami Vivekananda himself dusted the master's bed with his own hand and again sat for meditation. Never before had he performed such meditation in the monastery. What transpired there, no one knows. What did he talk with Sri Ramakrishna? No one knows. He finished his meditation. He went up to 11 a.m. and then began to sing with devotion a song about Divine Mother Kali in his sweet voice, which the monks heard from downstairs. The word to the song are, "Is my Kali, my mother, really black? Is my mother Kali really black? The naked one, though black she seems, but she lights the lotus of my heart. If she was black, how could she light the lotus of my heart? Men call her black, but yet my mind does not believe that she is so. Now she is white, now she is red, now blue, now she appears as yellow too. I hardly know who Mother Kali is, though I have pondered all my life. Now Purusha, now Prakriti, now male, now female, and now the void, the infinite. She seems to be. To meditate on all these things confounds poor Kamala Kanta's wits." So what is Mother Kali? That song he sang with great devotion. Descending the stairs of the shrine, he walked back and forth in the courtyard of the monastery. He appeared indrawn as if traveling to a distant land. Suddenly, Swamiji said to himself, it is a beautiful statement he is making. If there were another Vivekananda, if there were another Vivekananda, then he would have understood what this Vivekananda has done. If there was another Vivekananda, he only, because we can't understand what Vivekananda has done in that 39 years. If there were another Vivekananda, then he would have understood what this Vivekananda has done. And yet, how many Vivekananda, see in future he tells, and yet, how many Vivekanandas will be born in time in future? His statement was overheard by Premananda, who was standing on the veranda of the chapel. Never before had Swamiji spoken like this. Then Swami Vivekananda expressed a desire to worship Mother Kali at the monastery the following day. It was Saturday. Now, Because of this, there are so many other things he tells about the yoga, the meditation, about the Sushumna. He even sat with brahmacharis to study grammar, Sanskrit grammar. On the day of death, he's teaching Sanskrit grammar. He knows that he's going to die. But so many other things are there because of the shortage of the time. Let me finish it quickly. Noon, he had the lunch. All the other things are there. Beautiful. He went to the library and called the brahmacharis to attend the class on Sanskrit. One who attended the class wrote, the class lasted for nearly 3 hours, 1 o'clock to 4 p.m. But no monotony was felt, for he himself, Swamiji, would tell a witty story to make bon mots now and then to lighten his teaching as he was wont to do. Sometimes the joke would be with reference to the wording of a certain aphorism, or he would make an amusing play upon the words, knowing that the fun would make it easier for recollection. On this particular day, he spoke of how he had coached his college friend, and all that thing is happening. He taught up to 4 o'clock the Sanskrit grammar. At 4:30, Swami Vivekananda drank some water and a cup of hot milk. Then he went for a walk with Premananda to Belur Bazaar, 1 mile away. He felt good and talked to his brother disciple on many interesting subjects. At 5:30 p.m., he returned to the monastery from his walk. He sat on a bench under the mango tree and said, "My health is good today, which I have not felt for a long time." Swamiji talked to Premananda and other monks about the history of European civilization. Then he told, India is immortal. India will never die. Immortal, he said. When will she be immortal? If she persists in her search for God. What is India? It's not the mass of land. The people who live there. You. So, when will you not perish? He tells India will not perish until she persists in her search for God. The moment you take up something else, he tells, immortal, he said, if she persists in her search for God, but if she goes in for politics, and social conflict, she will die. At 6:30 p.m., when he found that some monks were taking tea, he went to them and said, "Will you give me a cup of tea?" He enjoyed tea with them. When the vesper bell was rung at 7 p.m. for the Arati of Ramakrishna, he got up and went to his room upstairs. Bodhananda, who was Swami Vivekananda's secretary and kept his little bit of cash, reminisced. I was standing by the stairway down on the ground floor. It was the month of July. In India, the mosquitoes are so numerous and so dangerous that get malaria from them, and no one can sleep in bed without the curtains. He had discovered that the curtains of some monks were torn, and his last command to me was, see that all the monks get new mosquito curtains. Even in his last moment, Vivekananda showed his great love and concern for the monks. Entering his room, Swamiji said to his attendant Brahmachari Brajendra, my body is very light today. I feel fine. Please give me my rosary, Japamala. He sat facing the Ganga. Before he began his meditation, he asked Brajendra to go to the other room and instructed him, wait and meditate till I call you. After an hour, at 8 p.m., the Swami called Brajendra and asked him to fan his head. Swamiji said to him, open all the windows of his room because he was feeling hot. Then he laid himself down on his bed on his floor. He still had the rosary in his hand. After a while, Swami Vivekananda said to him, all right, no more need for fanning. It will be better if you give a little massage to my feet. Soon he seemed to fall asleep. 1 hour passed in this manner. Vivekananda was lying on his left side and the brahmacharin was massaging his feet on his back shortly after that. Then, towards the end, Brajendra noticed that Swamiji's right hand trembled a little. There was perspiration on his forehead. He breathed a deep breath and his head rolled down by the pillow. There was silence for a minute or two, and again he breathed in the same manner. His body became still. It was 9:10 p.m. And what happened? The doctors afterwards came and examined. So many other things are there. The night an eminent physician was called in. He examined the body for a long time and afterwards said his life had gone. The next morning, it was found that the eyes were bloodshot and that there was a little bleeding through the mouth and the nostrils. Other doctors remarked that it was due to the rupture of the blood vessels in the brain. This clearly leads to the conclusion that the process of japa and meditation is Brahmarandra. Here, the Sahasrara, there is an opening, Brahmarandra. That is the place with which the life enters, to the jiva enters to this body. When you have realized God, when you die, it goes through that Randra. So, in the Sahasrara, the Randra, Brahmarandra, he gave up his body, that is immersed in Samadhi. This clearly leads to the conclusion that in the process of japa and meditation, his Brahmarandra must have been pierced when he left the body. Then what happened here? He has left the body here. Something happened somewhere else in Chennai. It is in Calcutta. Something happened in Chennai. What happened there? Swami Ramakrishnananda, Shashibhushan Chakravarti, another great disciple who has been sent to Chennai to look after the work of Ramakrishna. On the night of 4th July 1902, Ramakrishnananda called Sachidananda loudly, Dinabandhu, Dinabandhu, what happened? Asked that Swami Ananda. I saw Swami Vivekananda standing before me and he said to me, look here Shashi, I threw away this body like spitting out spittle. And he spat twice or thrice. Both Swamis could not figure out the meaning of the vision and neither of them got any sleep that night. The next day, Ramakrishnananda received a cable from Belur Math with the sad news of Vivekananda's passing away. He came into life, threw away the body like spit, cast away just like a used garment. Now, with one last verse of Bhagavad Gita, I will end my talk. What is that? Krishna tells, Vasam sijirnani yata vihaya navani granhati naroparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirna nanyani sanyati navani dehi. What is Lord Krishna telling? As a person sheds off the worn out garment. When your garment is old and torn and worn out, what do? You throw it away and wears a new one. Likewise, at the time of death, the soul, the Atman, casts off its worn out body and enters a new one. Swamiji did that. Just cast off the body at will. He had that. Now, another statement of Swami, it may be that I shall find it good to get outside of my body, to cast it off like a disused garment, but I shall not cease to work. I shall not cease to work. I shall inspire men everywhere until the world shall know that it is one with God. It may be that I shall find it good to get outside of my body, to cast it off like a disused garment, but I shall not cease to work even after my death. I shall inspire men everywhere until the world shall know that it is one with God. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. So should we not fulfill the desire of Swami Vivekananda until we shall know that we are one?